And I tell you, we're surprised. We're early with Greg Brown this morning. We said 8:20, but he was already here, so we decided to give him about a 10-minute little introduction part before we go to Fred on weather at our next break. But Greg, good to have you here.
Yes, sir. Good to be here.
We've been promoting this this week on this class that's coming up for women's self-defense training.
Yes, sir.
And go ahead and give us, if you would, just a little bit about you, and then tell about the instructors and what's going to be going on with this class.
Yes, sir. I'm retired from the Rocky Mount Police Department after serving 10 years. Unfortunately, I was injured in the line of duty, and I had to retire. But I've known both sheriffs probably 20 plus years.
Good guys.
Yes, sir. Great guys.
As they get.
And I just wanted to give an intro to our concealed carry class. First, we're going to start off with Sheriff Atkinson. Of course, he's Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. You know, he's been in law enforcement for 20 plus years, 25 plus years actually. Wow. He brings a wealth of knowledge and coaching mentality and experience to the area of defensive tactics and officer survival skills. He taught at the North Carolina State Highway Patrol Training Academy for several years. He was one of the lead instructors in the Highway Patrol and teaching troopers defensive tactics and officer survival. He also is a general law enforcement instructor, defensive tactics instructor.
And is that moves, defensive moves?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SCAT training, which is abbreviated for subject control arrest techniques, which is taught to law enforcement officers when they're in basic law enforcement and training. And he was a unit in the unit command and the Highway Patrol. You know, is world renowned for training of law enforcement officers in the state of North Carolina.
Okay.
And of course, Sheriff Stone in Nash County, have known him 25 plus years. He's been in law enforcement for over 38 years. He's a good friend of mine. He holds thousands of hours of law enforcement training, numerous certifications in law enforcement instruction, and he's effective and efficient in the area of handgun training and weapon retention skills.
Done a terrific job.
Yes, sir.
And the community loves him.
Yes, sir.
He also taught at the Highway Patrol.
Yes, sir. He was
saw
there
his
as
picture
well.
on there on the wall. I did an inspection of their complex, and I saw his picture in there as far as one of the instructors.
Yes.
So I said, I recognize that face right there.
Yes, sir. You know, in my opinion, I don't think you'll find any two sheriffs that police support, train, and partnership better than any two anywhere in the state of North Carolina.
I have to agree.
You know, Sheriff Stone, he has, like I said, numerous certifications, thousands of hours of training. He's training and standards instructor, a Justice Academy training instructor. He's attended the FBI Leadership Development Instruction for Law Enforcement, been certified in that. He's a BLET physical fitness instructor, and of course, you know, we teach concealed carry classes every month, and he's an NRA handgun instructor, and Sheriff Atkinson's a major part of that as well. And Sheriff also partakes in the martial arts. He is a black belt in karate as well.
Didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now,
Watch out.
BLET. What's
So that's abbreviation again. It's basic law enforcement training. It's what if someone wishes to start the process in becoming a law enforcement officer, you have to attend. They're held at Nash Community College, Edgecombe Community College
About
has
6
a class.
months of training in it.
Yes, sir. It's when I went through back in '95, it was roughly 4 months. And I think that time has expanded. You know, times have changed, climates have changed.
Many more certifications
Correct.
required. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
has there been an increase or decrease in people wanting to become a police officer?
I've been out of the area for a little while, but I have kept up with it as being a on the North Carolina Fraternal Police State Executive Board. I travel all over North Carolina, and I have seen, and we've discussed it, a decrease in people wanting to become law enforcement officers.
It's a dangerous job.
Yes, sir, and it's a thankless job, but you do it because you want to do it. You have a heart to do it.
That's right.
To serve
And protect your community.
Same way I felt with the fire department.
Yes, sir.
It's not
I
just
heard
a
you.
job. It's not just a job. You got to have a passion for it and want to do that. And when you have a passion for it, it's not really work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see several of the officers I've worked with in the past, and we talk about we used to have fun doing this, and I think like I said, the climate has changed some. Where you had when Chief Brown retired and Chief Hogan came in 2000. I love Chief Brown, but he brought a more professional, up to date.
He was kind of old school.
Yeah,
but,
yes, sir.
yeah.
But he was a good man. But like I said, we move on, we progress, we adapt to what we have to overcome and train and be prepared for anything that happens.
I think same thing with sheriffs, both Edgecombe and Nash. You had long-time sheriffs in there that were old school,
Yes, sir.
and then it started changing with Grimes and
Yes,
working
sir.
its way up to,
Mhm.
I say younger guys, more into today's stuff, and then now these two, they're on top of the game. They're not just the old school walking tall high sheriff,
Correct.
And with sheriff when they say high sheriff,
He is, yes,
that's
sir.
one of the top dogs in the county. I'm gonna
Yes,
tell you,
sir.
I've understood that the only person that could actually arrest the sheriff is the medical examiner. That's
That-
what I've always heard.
That is correct.
That now that's really strange, but well, I tell you what, Greg, I wanted you to come on this first little 10-minute segment to kind of introduce your instructors and we know how talented and knowledgeable they are.
Yes, sir.
When we come back from our break and our weather, last look at weather with Fred, because we'll go to him early, we'll come back then and talk about the meat and potatoes of what the class is going to be involving.
Yes, sir.
And what, and I guess it is just for women, right?
Yes, sir.
This class is just gonna be for women.
It's our, like I said, it's our first class. It's just for the women, and like I said, we'll get more into it.
And it's not going to just be concealed carry gun control. It's going to be tactical maneuvers
Yes, sir.
with hands
Hands-on.
and actually taking down, throwing somebody down, or doing
Well,
some type of move, right?
Yes, sir. First
So-
day will be defensive tactics, and we can get on into
We
that.
might even let him practice that on Stretchy and show us a couple of moves that he might
I don't
do.
know about that.
Hey,
and show
hands
it on
up,
Stretchy.
I don't do anything wrong.
Yeah, hands up, don't shoot. And we'll come back and really get into what this class is going to be about and what women will look at learning on this with the live morning show presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet. We will be right back. Well, we had a couple throwdown moves on Stretchy a while ago during the break, and that was quite interesting. And now he's got to go to a chiropractic, I think, to get some work done on his back as well as cataracts. So
It's tough.
we'll,
It's tough.
we'll see how that goes. So,
Didn't know how strong he was,
Sandra,
Greg.
you might get
No.
a bill from Stretchy for chiropractor, but we'll use ones that advertise with the station. Maybe it'll give you a break.
Yes, sir.
That was tough. That was really tough.
Back with Greg Brown. He is a retired Rocky Mountain police
Yes, sir.
officer and working with this group that's putting on this class for women's self-defense. And now we're ready to get into the meat and potatoes of what the class is going to be about and what kind of things that women can learn from this class. So, Greg,
Yes, sir.
explain what it's going to be about.
So, an overview of the class, we're going to prevent, detect, and overcome a violent attack using training methods that the sheriffs have developed, and they offer a level of personal safety and protection. We're going to be identifying immediate threats and how to remove yourself from those situations. Dynamics, we're going to be utilizing mats, hands-on techniques, and impact weapons as well.
And we talked about a while ago, there are going to be people, you're going to get down on mats and
Yes, sir.
be actually struggling with an assailant, which might
Correct.
be the sheriff. But
Yes, sir.
But explain to people that if they really feel like they can't get down and do that type
Sure.
of thing, and some women might still be, we don't want it to deter them from taking the class.
Correct, yes, sir. We
So-
encourage them to please participate as much as they can. They can sit and actively, they can watch or actively participate
Right.
in the training that's going on. I think just by being there and the type of information and training they'll be receiving is very vital in today's climate.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they're watching and hearing,
Yes, sir.
they're going to have the understanding of what they may be facing when they're out
Yes, sir.
Target parking lot or
Yeah.
something.
Right.
They can actually know what to do. They just chose not to participate in the class,
Right.
but they'll at least learn something from it.
You know, and then we'll get into maybe the second day with Sheriff Stone, how to utilize a handgun in stressful situations. I think we maybe let them shoot 20 rounds in the indoor range, but that goes back to reintroducing participants in firearm safety, retention and use of a firearm is
Would
real.
they be required to have a concealed carry or
No,
anything
sir.
for this
No,
class?
sir. No concealed carry is
So
required.
they're covered already by the instruction.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basically, this will be just a training, and they'll get a feel for a handgun. It's a small handgun, 22 caliber.
And that's going to be provided.
Yes,
for
sir.
them.
That's
They don't
all.
bring their own.
That's all
Okay.
provided. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
So really, it's not just a matter of, let's say in my case, that's never handled a gun. Would I just be able to pick up a gun and start shooting?
Um,
Or there's, you gotta learn something, be able to be able
Well,
to
I
do
mean,
it,
I
right?
think
It's
you,
just not-
yeah, you
just
have
not-
to. You know, we always say we need to identify where you're at first and be aware of your surroundings. Most of the time, your threats are 2 to 3 feet away, and that's why, you know, when we teach concealed carry classes, you know, we shoot targets from the 3, 5, and 7 yard line because most of your interactions with someone is hands on. But we teach you to not get in that situation first. I mean, my opinion, the best fight to be in is no fight at all.
Right. Because
You know-
if you have a gun, you better be ready to use it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir. And
but there are a lot of things before a gun is used that you can do to ward off a person, and
That's
that's probably
correct.
some little simple things that y'all will teach them that day.
Yes, sir. You know, we'll be in identifying a situation, and before it becomes a threat, to see, hey, I don't know, this person doesn't look right, and they've been following me around in the store. I think I need to remove myself from that situation. We're going to exploit their weaknesses and use it to your advantage. These participants will be taught that. You know, being caught off guard and what to do in the case of an assault, predict an attacker's move and respond with counterattacks, and have a mindset to defend yourself and defensive techniques to stop a deadly threat.
Because it's not just wailing away at someone.
That's
right?
correct.
There's gotta be certain spots that you.
Correct, that you can
Oh, yeah.
use, and you have to. I know you have to remain calm in those situations.
Which is not easy.
It's not easy. No, sir, it's not. That's why law enforcement, you know, we train hundreds of thousands of hours. It's called muscle memory. So when you get into that fight or flight mode, you don't think
reaction
you
is
just
quick.
react.
Well, it's just like if a man comes up behind a woman and grabs her.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's key things that they can do to possibly injure that person.
That's
I mean,
correct.
a head to the nose will put a man tears in his eye. A foot to the shin or to the knee or something, or hit to the groin.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure those are key points that y'all can point out
Yes,
to
sir.
people. That's why it's important, I think, for people to know you don't have to actively participate, but you're going to learn some things,
correct.
of key things to
Yes.
do in that situation. That could mean life and death.
Yes, sir.
And being, I told my wife is if you get abducted by someone broad daylight, which is happening crazy now, it don't just happen at night.
That's correct.
Broad
Exactly.
daylight. That lady at CVS in Greenville that got abducted, that was daylight.
Yeah.
So I told her, you put up a fight, resist in public. I don't care. You're gonna get killed if they take you in that car away. More than likely, the end result's not gonna be good.
Good. That's
So
correct.
you take your chances out there in the public and raise a ruckus, fight, whatever. If he kills you there, then I mean, that's what it is. But there's a chance, I think, that you can get out of it.
Yes, sir. There he is.
But if the assailant is just trying to snatch the purse, is it better just let go?
let it go.
I think it's best just to let it go. You know, because
Yeah.
someone can get hurt really bad if they resist, and if somebody if they see something, they're gonna take it, regardless of if you're putting up a fight or not.
Yeah, just like we were talking about on K-Files yesterday, the guy on 58 that got killed. They think he was pursuing the home invasion person, and he got killed in his driveway.
Yes,
his
sir.
path going to his house. So sometimes it is best to just let it go, write it off. It's done.
Yes, sir.
Don't try to actively pursue.
But here you're talking about someone that's actually been assaulted.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Yes,
then,
sir.
Then they have to use the defensive measures and so forth.
Right, and like I said, both sheriffs they'll be teaching these type holds and techniques that will give someone an advantage over an attacker.
Yeah.
You know, I think we'll have some videos of women being attacked. I think there was one, it's about 6 months ago. The young lady, I think it was in New York. She was inside of a gym working out late at night.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Gentleman comes in, locks the door, and she's the only one in there, and she does a great job of fighting him off till somebody comes in and helps her out.
5-pound dumbbell will do some damage.
Yes, sir. But again, I don't think there's no other class that's being offered in the area that will bring this type of experience and training. Again, you look at these two instructors; they have over 60 years of combined law enforcement training and officer skills, surviving skills experience.
And unfortunately, there has been a rise in this type of crime.
Yes, sir. And you have to, we call it the 4 A's maybe: attitude, awareness, assessment, and action. Be aware of your surroundings. I know, you have Target, Walmart. People like to run at the Greenway at different times of the day and night. But you also have to be, prepare yourself in case something happens.
Yeah, or you hear about someone jogging at NC State around Raleigh and go missing. I see it on TV all the time, Datelines in 2020. So, have you a buddy system, I think.
Yes,
if
sir.
you're going to go on that Greenway and Rocky Mount, I wouldn't go by myself. I'd go and have at least a partner there.
Yes, sir. And my daughter, my son just graduated from ECU, and my daughter is going in August, and I sit her down some and tell her, hey, y'all need to go in groups if you go somewhere.
Yeah. The simple things that you can learn from this class, the simple techniques. I mean, I got my car keys out because I've always heard, a car key in a fist like this can do some damage.
Yes, sir.
And at least give you that breakaway point where you can run.
Right.
At least you can do a stabbing motion with it and actually do some harm in an eye.
Yes, sir.
And at least get that point where you can free yourself. So these techniques are important for ladies to learn.
It is.
For men to know too, but for ladies especially, because they can be, I mean, we talk about the weaker sex, and as far as strength-wise, we are stronger and more muscular, so these little things can gain advantage back on their side.
But the husbands cannot come and watch to watch their wives being taught.
They can pay $100 and pay for coming in to
Sure.
to
I'm coming back on the 19th, I believe, to get a little more in depth, and I will take that question back and have you an answer.
Yeah.
Great.
As far as the location, let's look at
Yes,
the
sir.
time and when this thing's going to be, how
Yes,
much
sir.
the fee is, and all that. That I know we've got a flyer over there. Where it's going to be located, we talked about it a while ago during break. Just past the old Harley place where the Fraternal Order Police, there's a building right
Yes, sir.
back beside of it.
Yes, sir. It's going to be held at CPF Training Center, 2725 North Church Street, of course, in Rocky Mount. The time is 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., and the dates is Wednesday, July the 26th, and Thursday, July the 27th.
And
Is
the
it
registration
the
fee is
same class 2 days in a row?
Yes,
or-
sir.
So you can go to either or. You don't
Yes,
go
sir.
to both.
You can go to both. We're stressing that you come to both.
Okay.
But if you want to participate in either or, you can.
okay.
And the cost is $100 for the class, and if they can bring that fee the first night of class, that's what we're asking.
$100 takes care of both days.
Yes, sir.
Both
It
nights.
takes care of the firearm that's being provided and the ammunition as well.
And
Okay.
you want them to wear
Comfortable clothes,
Sweatpants, that type of thing.
shorts, yes, sir. T-shirts, tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, if you're going to be participating on the mats, then you're going to be rolling around, hands on, so we want you to be comfortable in when
Yeah.
you're doing that.
And realize that, of course, it is good to participate. You learn more by doing. But
Yes, sir.
if you don't feel like you can't get down on the mat, whether it's something physically or age or whatever prohibiting you, don't let that deter you from taking the class, because there's some things you can learn by watching that may help you in that situation.
Yes,
So,
sir. That's correct.
um,
And if I'm going to give them a number. If you would like to register, you can call or text. You can call me. My number is 813-8898 to register for the class.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
now you said that you're gonna demonstrate the handgun usage. Now,
Yes, sir.
From there, are they gonna be able to sign up to get a permit?
So,
or
no, sir.
what
So
would-
this
what would they
class
do?
is not for our concealed carry person. So the sheriffs do teach a concealed carry class every month. Our next concealed carry class is the following Monday and Tuesday, July 31st and August 1st at the same location.
So if they see this demonstration you're gonna give to them and they want to.
To register.
To register. they-
Might get some people
They would
from
do
it,
that,
that's
you probably
right.
get.
Yes, sir. And it's taught at the same location at CPF Training Center on North Church
So
Street.
within a week's time, you can be full
Fully-
metal jacket. You're ready to go.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So I
So
understand you got a range there?
Yes, sir. It is an
range?
indoor range. It's a private location. It's mainly we use it for law enforcement training through CPF, and that's what it's used for.
okay. And if you're not familiar with that building, if you go past the old seafood joint,
Atlantis,
and
it's
all
right
that,
across the
and
street.
the Elks Lodge where it was, it's right across on the other side of the road. Be ready to turn
Mhm.
because it's right there. So if you get to that old Elks Lodge building, be ready to turn right.
And isn't there American Legion out there?
It's right beside.
past,
It's right beside the American
Yep,
Legion building.
Right
Yes, sir.
past the American Legion building on the same side of the road. So you'll get to the old Harley building, which is Fraternal Order Police, and then the building you're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about right next to it. So
Yes, sir.
it used to be
Now,
a warehouse or something. It was a distribution or something in that building before. I don't know. I've been in it
People
before.
that from the area remember it as the old powder keg building.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Now, do you have, will you be participating in?
I will
this?
be there.
You'll
Yes,
be
sir.
there?
Yes, sir. I will be there.
So we do welcome everybody to come out and do that. The women that are looking at getting some extra, a little edge that you might need, will be beneficial to you for sure. And you'll be back on, you say the 19th,
Yes, sir.
maybe to touch on that again. So
Yes, sir.
Sandra, have you? Is that a Thursday? Probably is.
I believe it's
A Wednesday? Okay. I know she does Wednesdays and Thursdays, so.
Now, currently, where is the most likely place for these attacks to occur?
So we're going to focus on that as well. You know, like I said, in our area, you have Target parking lot, you have Walmart parking lot, the mall. Like we touched on, you have the Greenway when you're out exercising and running, or just in a store. If you can be stalked inside of a store as well.
That's usually.
When someone is shopping, you know, whether it's the grocery store or retail store. And then, you know, we've seen that numerous times. I think you've seen it on the news as well. You know, somebody just picks out a target and follows them throughout the store. And when they go to their car, when they're not paying attention, they push them in the vehicle and take the vehicle and the person.
Right.
And nobody knows any different.
And
So-
this isn't just to steal a few dollars from.
No, sir,
from
it
the-
is not.
This is
This is
it could
physical
be a
assault.
physical assault,
Mhm.
seeing somebody that they desire or whatever. So not necessarily a robbery, but
Mhm.
things like parking in a certain place, a well lit area of the parking
Yes,
lot.
sir.
Not parking beside of a big van or something, or if you come out and you see a van is right beside where you're going to be getting in.
Mhm.
That's dangerous. I mean,
Yes,
all they
sir.
have to do is slide that door, grab you, pull you in. 5 seconds, they're out with you.
Yes, sir.
So if
know,
you
time-
see something
time of
like
day-
that, you probably need to back up and
Yes,
see if
sir.
somebody will come out with you.
And like I said, you know, now it's gotten to the climate where normally it used to be at night, you know,
Mhm.
but
Now, anytime.
anything can happen at any time. But just again, be aware of your surroundings.
Even workplace parking lots.
Yes, sir. Workplace. It can happen anywhere at any time.
I heard something the other day. It was kind of interesting, little key things that I hadn't really ever thought about. And this doesn't involve like an abduction, but if you're stranded out in the middle of nowhere, and let's just say you're in that area where it's a dead zone, no service, change your voicemail to tell where you're located at. So when somebody calls you, even though you don't have service, your voicemail will go to them and they'll say, "Hey, I'm stranded on I-40
That's a
at
good
such
idea.
and such." And I never thought about that.
That's a great
You know, If you
idea.
don't have service, change your voicemail to tell what your problem is and where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You could do the same thing if something come up and say, "Hey, I'm being followed by a vehicle. I'm not really sure what's going on." Put it on your voicemail.
Yes, sir.
That way, if you are taken, then man, that movie Taken with Liam Nielsen, when his daughters and her friend was taken.
Yes, sir,
I
I've
mean, that
seen
kind of
those.
stuff happens.
It does.
It does. It's not just fiction, science fiction. It happens. So be prepared, be aware. As you said, attitude, awareness, assessment, and action. And this is trying to teach you all of that. Not
Yes,
only
sir.
the awareness, but what to do and take action, how to take action.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I'm also thinking now? That the women that go through this course and learn it all, you know, they can go home and actually show it,
Right, it's on
show
the
it to their
husband.
children and
Correct.
teach their children at an earlier age. You know, their daughters, let's say, teach them.
Yeah, Patricia can actually show your daughter on you of
Yeah.
things you learn.
Yes, sir.
I think
No,
I'd buy a
seriously.
ticket
I mean,
to that.
Seriously, the young children
Yes.
can learn earlier from their parent.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
from the mom.
And kids these days, they need to learn survival techniques and what to do in an emergency, and that could save the life of not only them but their parent. I mean, things to do in the event of a fire or a 911 call, what to be prepared to say. But these days, you know, phones can be picked up as far as location. Even if they can't say anything, they can either get a ping off a tower or either, you know, the enhanced
Yes, sir.
911 will tell you what their address is on their home phone. But nobody has home phones anymore.
I've got a question for you, Greg.
Yes, sir.
You know, they're saying now that when the blue lights come on,
Mm-hmm.
it's, you know, say it's my wife driving, blue lights come on, and she's not really sure. you
Sure.
know, and so she's told to drive to a lighted area. Let's
Correct.
say drive
So-
to the nearest gas station. But let's say that takes, you know, a couple miles
Right.
to get there. What is the
So we'll
policeman's
make
attitude towards that?
So we'll make
that
a
the car's not
suggestion,
stopping?
and we go over this in our concealed carry class as well. If you're unsure, call 911 and say, "Hey, I think I'm being pulled over." They'll give them your location. Dispatch will rate any unit trying to stop a red, you know, vehicle on such and such highway. Yes, it's me. Ask them to pull over. Slow down, turn your hazards on. Now, if you speed up to 70, 80 miles an hour and continue, then that's a different story. But yeah, just slow down to, you know, to speed limit, cut your flashers on, and as long as you're not over speeding to try to elude the officer, then just call 911 and explain your situation, and they're normally really good about that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
does the policeman understand that?
Yes,
When he
sir.
sees-
Oh,
he's
yes,
gonna
sir.
see that?
Yep.
So I've always
sir.
wondered whether that would get him, you know, more riled up or
No,
think,
sir.
think
Yeah.
that
It-
they're. think
That's
that
what
they're-
I've always heard.
As long as they slow, like I
911,
said, slow down, turn your hazards on, and it takes maybe 2 to 3 extra minutes to do that step.
Yeah.
And radio dispatch is instant communication, so they'll say, yes, I'm trying to pull this, ask her to pull over to the side of the road.
Yeah. Good advice.
Okay, so they call 911,
Yes, sir.
right? And the 911 reports back to the.
And they'll
the
say,
vehicle.
I think I'm being stopped, and I'm not sure if it's a officer trying to stop me.
Right.
I'm on such and such a highway.
Should I stop or not?
And
Yeah,
the dispatcher will more than likely say, well, they'll say, ma'am, hang on 1 second. They'll radio any unit trying to stop a red vehicle at this location. The officer will respond back, yes, please have them pull over when they feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah, 911's good about keeping you on the line while they do that, and then they can relay that information back to you. So
Yes, sir.
good thing to do, and good thing for this class. So if you're interested, then keep posted on this for the 19th. But we do want you to go ahead and start signing up. So you want to give your number again, your cell number, if you want them to call you?
Yes, sir. It's 252-813-8898.
Okay. Well, appreciate you coming in
Yes,
this
sir.
morning.
Thank
We
you.
Certainly do. Good information,
Yes, sir.
always
Yes,
to
sir.
educate the public on, and that's what we're about. We're a community station trying to get community involvement, community educated, and we're going to go to our break and let these guys kind of skedaddle.
I'm going to do some instruction with them.
Oh
so I
yeah,
won't-
they're
so I
gonna go
won't be
off.
back.
They're gonna go off site and do some hands-on techniques. So I want to see Stretchy if he was really stretchy. We'll see how far he can be stretched. So we'll be right back with the live morning show presented by Don Bullitt Chevrolet.